Off the top, supporters say it's a change that will bring health coverage to nearly 500,000 people in the state. But this afternoon, the Michigan Senate decided to leave Lansing for the summer without taking a vote. And that has Democrats, even the Republican governor, crying foul. In fact, he's putting out a call to action against his own party.
So I ask you to join me in this effort. And I ask you to sustain this effort until we get that vote, until we get that yes vote.
Political reporter Rick Albin spent the day in Lansing. And Rick, you've told us all week long that this was going to be a tough vote for a lot of Republicans.
Absolutely, and it came down to the fact it was just too tough to take. Let me try to set the scene for you as to why this vote didn't happen. The whole idea that Republicans in the House and the Senate have a pact with their caucuses that says they won't pass a bill unless it has a majority of majority support. Over in the House, they already went against that tenet when they passed this very same legislation without the majority of Republicans, or with barely the majority of Republicans if there were. So it was very close, and they had to have all Democratic votes to make it happen. Over in the Senate, though, it was going to be much more lopsided. Well, only 8 or 9 Republican votes, perhaps, along with the Democratic votes, that could have passed it out. Senator Richard Bill, leader over in the Republicans in the Senate, said he would not put it up like that. He wanted more time to study it, but the governor says there isn't any more time.
My view is you have to represent what's in the best interest of the majority of Michiganders. And there are times you'll have people on the left that don't like what you do, and you're going to have people on the right that don't like what you do, but you make the right decision, and you stay firm and move forward. In terms of time, we're out of time. We need to move forward. The clock is ticking. The beginning of next year, many things need to be in place. We need decisions made. Not making a decision is making a decision. A decision of no. That again comes back to harming Michiganders.
Susan over, Senator Richard Bill told me earlier today when he disclosed that he was not going to run the bill today that he expected that he would have a study group appointed and that the legislature, the Senate, pardon me, could take a look at this as early as late August. Now, the governor says he thinks that's too late, but it technically is not, and so this is not completely over. But I will tell you the governor was very emotional, very animated today, and you may see the beginning of a whole new dynamic in the relationship between the governor and the Senate Majority Leader and the Senate Majority Leader and the Speaker of the House. That could be a big change in the way business gets done in Lansing, because up to now, those three have gotten a whole lot done in the first 2.5 years of the Snyder administration. We'll be watching closely to see if this rift becomes something bigger, and we'll have much more on this as we go through 24-hour News 8 tomorrow, because there's a lot more to discuss about it and a lot more about how this played out today. Back to you.
And Rick, while we have you on the phone, the governor, he cut short a trade mission overseas to come back to try to hammer this deal through. But truth be told, he's checkmated on this. There is very little the governor can do.
Yeah, there's virtually nothing he can do. Somebody asked him today if he would call the Senate back into session, and technically he doesn't even know if he can. It depends on how they adjourned. But the bottom line for him is that this whole process went wrong somewhere. I asked him, how is it that the Speaker of the House, the Senate Majority Leader, and the governor didn't sit down and hammer this out first to figure out how those votes were going to come? And he said that's not always the way the process works. But I can tell you in years past that is how it would have worked. John Engler would not have cut short a trip overseas to come back to negotiate with the Senate and then not get what he came back to negotiate for. So this is a real interesting dynamic that's going to play out. And you're right. Right now there's very little the governor can do. And so what we saw him do this afternoon is try to mobilize the people of Michigan who he believes will join him in support of this. But as he well knows, there's a lot of the Republican base out there that does not support an expansion of Medicaid or anything that has to do with the Affordable Care Act that they call Obamacare.
Rick Albin, could be a long summer. Thank you, Rick.